Hi, and welcome back to The Truth About Publishing. This week, we're going to talk about submitting your work to an agent or a publisher. Because if you are writing with the intent of getting published, eventually you're just going to have to put on your big girl pants, suck it up, and send your work out to other people to read. It's just the way it is. So, I'm going to give you some advice. First piece of advice is to do your homework. This is by far the best piece of advice that I'm ever going to give you. Do your homework. Just do it. It sounds really, really boring and lame. But if you want to be in the business of publishing, it's something you need to do. Because if you've Googled slush killer, you know that one of the top reasons for being rejected is that you've sent this agent or editor the wrong material. They don't represent it. They don't publish it. They are a romance publisher, and you've sent them a young adult science fiction thriller. They're obviously going to reject it. Duh. So do your homework. And there's a lot of places you can do it. You can go to agentquery.com. You can ask friends. You can go to the bookstore and look in books like the one you've written. And most authors thank their agents. Look it up, see who they're represented by. Once you have a list of agents and publishers you think might be a good fit, go to their websites and see if A, they're accepting queries, because sometimes agents get full lists, publishers get backed up, and they just stop looking at things for a while. So double check, because you're not going to get a response. You're going to feel bad. You're going to wonder, why did they reject me? Well, it's because they weren't accepting queries at the moment. Duh. Okay? A lot of this is not brain surgery, but you need to follow the rules. That's part of do your homework. So find your agents and your publishers, write a little spreadsheet or whatever you have to do to keep track of who you've sent it to and what they've said and when. And you're going to send out your package. And I'm telling you, this is the other thing you have to do. Right after do your homework, follow the instructions is the next best piece of advice I'm going to give you. Okay. A submission packet usually contains a query letter, which is kind of like a cover letter. I'm not going to tell you how to write one today. Go Google it. Go ask for advice. Go to Absolute Write and talk to the people there. Learn a lot about publishing. They have a query letter hell form that you can put your query letter up, and you can have it all ripped to pieces and told what's wrong with it and then make it better again. Okay. So I'm not going to tell you how to write a query letter, but you're going to need one. Hint, big tip, never, ever start your query letter with Dear Agent or Dear Editor or, God forbid, to whom it may concern. That's almost as bad as sending it to somebody that doesn't represent or publish what you wrote. It's like auto reject time. Because if you haven't done your homework, or you have a query letter that you just send out en masse to everybody on your list, it's going to show. And it's going to tell the editor who reads it or the agent who opens your email that you either A, don't know what you're doing, B, are lazy, or C, I don't even know what C is. Okay, but that's another big tip for you. Find out who to address your query letter to, which means, darling, that you are going to have to look at each individual email that you send out, which is okay because it's email. You can copy and paste a lot of your query letter, change the heading, change the greeting. There's a lot that goes into a query letter, but it's not like you have to print them all out individually. Double check your query letter. Okay, I'm going to tell you, this is not, you can't just hit a button and send a mass email. Oh God, that's another one. Never ever send your query letter, like in the to, there better only be one name in the to email of your query letter. There better not be 15 names. Do not do that. Do not do that, because they notice and they're going to go, reject. All right. Because it's rude. It's rude. Publishing is like the last stand of politeness, I guess. There are rules and you should follow them which is what I said before. So always address it to the proper person. Go to their website. They're going to have a list of books they've sold. If they're editors and publishers and agents are going to have lists of books they've sold. So that's another way you're going to find out whether they publish or represent what you've written. Look at the books that they have on their website. Look at the list of authors they represent. They're going to have a list somewhere on there that's called submission guidelines. It's going to tell you what to submit, what they represent or publish, and how to submit it, whether it needs to be email, whether it needs to be snail mail. Some people still do that. Whether they take an attachment, whether you have to put it in the body of the email, whatever it is, follow the directions to the letter. That is another big tip for you to get past the first round of rejection. Find the right person to send it to, address your query letter to the proper person, and follow the guidelines. You are not a special snowflake. I know you think you are, and you know you are. I love you. I love you. I love your work. Your work is wonderful, but just do what they ask you to do, no matter what it is. Okay? If they ask for just a query letter, then just send a query letter. Make sure it's really good, that there's no errors in it. Make sure that it's addressed to the proper person, like I said. Make sure that if you're using, like, the descriptive part of your book is probably going to be the same from query letter to query letter. Change your greeting, change the bottom. Enclosed is the 3 pages or first 3 chapters or whatever they want on their guidelines. Make sure that you take that out if you're sending it to the next person who only wants a query letter. Because again, that indicates you just hit the button and didn't look, weren't paying attention. So that's the other thing. Make sure that your query letter is, reread it before you hit that send button. And then, like I said, follow the guidelines. Whatever it is that they want. If they want a 1-page synopsis, don't send them a 5-page synopsis. If they want a 1-page synopsis in 3 chapters, don't send them a 1-page synopsis in the entire book. It's not going to win you any points. You are not going to get read faster. They're not going to think you're special or take charge or whatever. They're going to think you're an idiot because you can't read. And if you can't read and follow directions, what are you going to be like to work with? And I'm completely serious when I say that to you. So there it is. How you submit your stuff to an agent. Find the right people, or an editor. Find the right people. Do the work. Do the homework. Put your best foot forward with properly addressed stuff. Really nice query letter. And follow the guidelines. That's really all there is to it. Short one today. I know I didn't talk a whole long time. You could say I have like an eye thing going on here and all this other nonsense. And I'm still working on my grad school research study proposal. So it's been a busy week. Next week, I'm going to New York City. So I will not be making a video next week. So I will see you in a few weeks. Bye, my lovelies. Keep writing, and do your homework. Bye.